Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week number 2, turning $100 into $1 million. Account is still on $437. And you guys can see here on the MyFX book, it is the exact same thing, $437.88. As of right now, 11 a.m. Monday morning, no trades have been taken. Let me show you guys. Let's start off with USD JPY. So USD JPY has a very clean left head, kind of right shoulder action going around here. We broke the neckline. Now we are retesting the neckline of the head and shoulders along with the 1 hour EMA. 4 hour time frame looks absolutely phenomenal. We're having a beautiful 1 hour bearish engulfing candlestick. Looks like we're having that pullback to retest that previous structural level. And then the daily time frame does not get any cleaner than this. Daily previous structural level, daily EMA, and then you guys can look left. It is obviously a level of resistance whenever we're under, and a level of resistance whenever we're under. And this line right here, what is it, you may be asking? Around psychological level, 157,500. Or, like the smart money concept guys would call it, an order block. Potato, potato. This is around psychological level with an area of interest. So this trade is my number one trade that I'm going to be interested in taking this week. All I'm really waiting for on this market, so earlier this week what I was waiting for was this break. So that break already happened, and now this pullback is actively happening. So I just gotta wait for price to go back into this area so I can actually enter this trade. The next market is GBP USD. So GBP USD was the market that we were actually looking to trade last week. So last week you guys can tell that we were in this bullish market right here. We had the break, and then on this retest right here, we did not find an entry, so price continued to head to the downside. But then we officially had the retest as we've been looking for it for this level. And then the daily time frame is where it actually starts looking clean because you can see the shift in the market. So the daily time frame, you can see how this is a beautiful higher low, higher high. We broke it. Now I'm waiting for price to come back and then retest that area of interest and that structure point. So literally all I'm waiting for on this market is for it to actually just pull up into this area so I can execute the trade. Because again, this area of interest also has a round psychological level, 1.29500. So this is a very key area where we should be selling. I could sell right here, but I would just have to have my stop loss really big, and then that'll just make the risk to reward ratio not make any sense. The risk to reward ratio has to be a minimum of a 1 to 2. So as of right now, we got to be very patient as we wait for this trade to pull back to this area to enter the market. Next market is going to be GBP CHF. So a quick actual fun fact about GBP CHF. It is probably my favorite pair and my most OG pair. GBP CHF is the market that made me the trader that I am today, because I caught a really nice bull run back in 2021 as soon as COVID was finishing, and literally this was the pair that made me realize to trade with a trend and trade with risk management. Risk management. The point is, I haven't traded this market since then because it just hasn't been giving me great opportunities, and I've been trying to enter a trade on it, but I haven't been able to find one. And I think this might be the one. So as you guys can see right here, daily time frame, we are clearly having a rejection from this resistance, and then resistance level, where now it could be holding it as support. You go down to then the 4 hour time frame, and the 4 hour time frame, you can see this is a strong level of resistance through here, resistance through here. We're just waiting for a quick break, retest, so then we can head to the upside. So this is an accumulation or a consolidation, an inverted head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it. It's price stopping at this strong level of support and resistance. Now the only way we can take it is once we have the confirmation of the break and retest. It's going to be the break and retest of this neckline of the head and shoulders, break and retest of that EMA, break and retest of this area of interest, and break and retest of this round psychological level, 1.1500. Probably one of my favorite trades as well for this week. So those are 3 very high probability trade setups. This next trade setup already played out, and that is GBP JPY. So last week, the first trade that we took on the 100 to the mill account was this one on GBP JPY, where this trade turned the $100 into $437. And then on the next entry, we're waiting for this retest to then sell, which the retest didn't happen as the area that I wanted to. We missed it by about 30 to 50 pips, and then the trade headed to the downside. So this trade is pretty much gone. The trade setup never really gave the entry, and we just missed it. But you can see here on the daily time frame that it is very clear, the break and then the retest for the trade to go to the downside. Once again, retesting round psychological level, 24.000. But this trade was missed, so we didn't take it. Last but not least, on the trades that I'm interested for this week that can happen kind of fast, it's going to be Euro GBP. So Euro GBP is actually a follow-up from last week's challenge series as well. Last week we were looking to enter the trade right around this area if we had this as a 4-hour bearish engulfing candlestick, which we did not. So then this week I'm going to be waiting for this break and retest for price to then head to the downside. Something that I could also wait for is this little left head and then a potential right shoulder to play out right here. Then all we would do is wait for then the retest of the neckline of the head and shoulder, so then we can take the trade to the downside. So what I'm going to say is the one that I'm pretty much almost ready to enter is going to be USD JPY as soon as we pull up to this little area of interest right here. Literally USD JPY, as simple and as effective as it is. Look at this shit. We literally had the retest perfectly to the area of interest, the Marubozu, tweezer top, rejection, bearish engulfing candlestick. I keep telling you, you need an engulfing candlestick to enter a sell, or a bullish engulfing to enter a buy. I'm laughing because the mic is moving. So the point is that we're in this trade right now. Literally, we are already at $550. If this shit hits that take profit, we'll probably be at like 2-3K. We'll probably even break the goal for the week that we've been anticipating. All right, guys, market open, and it's currently Tuesday morning, 8:26 in the morning. And currently how we're looking at this trade is we are up about $840,000, $850,000. So this trade has actually played out very, very, very well. You guys can check out. It's funny because I'm surpassing the goal every single week without doing any more effort. This is going a lot better than the last challenge. So you guys can see right here, the entry that we had yesterday pretty much predicted the push. Last night where we were was kind of at this candlestick, pretty much having a pullback. Throughout all of London session, this whole entire market had the push to the downside. When we were at this point right here, we were probably up about $2,000, but obviously prices had a retracement to this area where it's actually my realistic take profit, because I'm supposed to be risking 1 to get about 2, but I'm trying to stretch it out and get around 3.4. So this market is looking absolutely beautiful on the 4-hour, having very strong bearish momentum. And then the daily time frame is having very, very strong bearish momentum. I'm going to wait. If this daily candlestick closes under this line right here, I can legit have this market go all the way down to potentially areas like this over here. So to retest this previous structure level, if this daily candlestick body closes under that line right there, if it closes under, then we can have the movement all the way to the downside. So USD JPY, just to show you guys once again, currently moving very, very, very nicely into profit, about $840 of profit, which our goal for this week was to have a total equity or balance of about $900. So we are about to double that. And it's looking very nice. I'm not looking to enter potentially another position. You guys can see right here, GBP USD. We've actually had the retracement somewhat to the area of interest where we were looking to sell, but price did not quite make it there, so we couldn't enter the trade. Even if price did make it there, I would have not entered the trade because I'm already in a winning one. There's no reason why to add risk if you're already in a winning position. But this shows you guys that the set and forget strategy and the market analysis is correct. Then you have GBP CHF, which is having the break and retest perfectly as we've been anticipating. Kind of sucks that I couldn't trade this because I already in USD JPY, but once again just confirms that the strategy is working. And then Euro GBP is literally doing exactly what we mentioned yesterday. It's having the break, it's gonna then have the retest to then head to the downside. This is literally as textbook, as perfect as it gets. We haven't missed, so we're 4 for 4, 5 for 5 for this week. Every single trade that we've analyzed has played out, which is fucking crazy. And all you really only need to do is catch one. You don't need to catch all of them. Kind of impossible to catch all of them. There's no need. All you really need is one good one, when you can up your risk just a little bit, and then you set and fucking forget. All right, so currently we are up 837. All right, guys, trade update. It is currently 3:17 in the afternoon, and we are up about 1,600 on the trade. And you guys can see here that the market is about to close. Well, you guys can see that the market is about to close in 2 hours. So this daily candlestick will close about 1 hour, 42 minutes. And it's honestly going a lot faster than I anticipated. and we're definitely going to close under that previous structure level. This is why you set and forget your take profit. You never put a take profit. You always put a stop loss to minimize your losses. You never put a take profit. You never want to minimize your losses. So this trade, we just continue to hold and set and forget. Guys, trade up there right now. It is currently 6:36 in the afternoon, like you can see. Currently have about $1,600 on the account, so we're up $2,000. The goal for this week was $900, and then the goal for next week was to turn the $900 to about $1,800. So we're already ahead 2 weeks if I close this trade right now. And truthfully, I might. Let me show you guys right now the market. So exactly how I anticipated, the daily time frame has body closed under this previous structure point right here. So what I expect for price to do is for price to then now for tomorrow, for this candlestick right here, to have a pullback into this area to then head to the downside. So we'll probably have a wick pullback like that, and then the next day it will probably have then a push to the downside like this. Now I have to ask myself, should I hold through all that? Should I set and forget? Or should I just close with where price is right now because we're already ahead of schedule? But this trade, without having to add any more risk, I can literally add another $1,000, $1,500 to the account with no extra risk. Because the next trade that I take, I'm obviously exposing myself to risk. Here, I'm obviously positive. So this is what I'm predicting that the market is going to do. So this is obviously the prediction. So let me take this off and then let me take this off. This is what it would look like on the 4 hour. The 4 hour would reach us this line right here, which is the line on the daily time frame. That's just what it looks like on the 4 hours. This line is a daily structure point. So we can already remove this because this already happened to perfection. And what we would be waiting for is for price to have a pullback for here to then continue selling down. I don't know, I'm gonna make up a decision probably in the next like 30-45 minutes to see what I end up doing. But the other markets, GBP USD, currently we have had the pullback not as far as we wanted to. We did have a push, and then the daily time frame we obviously had a push to the downside. I would have just wished this came up a little bit further. GBP CHF had a beautiful bullish reaction, and then the next day we're having the retest. We're having the retest currently of this resistance level being used as support. So if I were to close USD JPY at this point where we are down here, I would probably enter this trade right here because this is the one that's ready the fastest. And then Euro GBP is doing exactly as we wanted, and it's having that break right now. And then all we gotta wait for now is this retest. So we already had this break. Now we just gotta wait for this retest to then sell. So everything is literally playing out to perfection. Daily time frame has body closed under. Like if you guys go to literally last week's series, you guys can see how we waited all of last week for price to pull back. So last week price was down here, and then we waited 1, 2, 3, 4 days for the price to pull back, and now 2 days of the reaction, and the pullback to then sell. So go watch last week's series so you guys can see that we've been watching this pair already for 2 weeks. So for now, currently up about $1,600. I'm gonna make a decision very soon to either set and forget or just close it here, and then we'll just add another position. The account is currently sitting at $3,000 fucking dollars. This is crazy. You wanna know what's crazy? I'm more excited about these $3,000 in profit than I am in like when I'm up 100, 200K. That's just like boring. This right here is so exciting because you guys have literally seen this go from $100 to the point where it is right now. Let me show you guys what the market has done. Right here in the markets, you guys can see that the market has had the push to then the point where I said it was going to hit the next structure point for the take profit. So bear with me, I'm holding the camera. So you guys can see this is the next take profit point that I said that it was going to go to. We've hit that perfectly. GBP USD has had the push to the downside. Then GBP CHF still kind of having the retest. And then Euro GBP is having the pullback. So we can enter another sell at this point right here to then sell. We're just waiting on that. So Euro GBP is the next trade that I'm interested in. But USD JPY has been an absolute beauty. So I'm going to wait these next 30 minutes for this candlestick to close. You guys can see it has 30 minutes left before it closes. Before I actually close this position on this market. But actively right now, exactly how we are looking. This is actively how we are looking right now. We're up about $3,000. This is insane. So this is transparency to its finest. You guys are seeing the before, the during, the after, pre-market analysis, absolutely everything. This challenge is becoming a lot easier than I expected. I'm more confident than ever. I'm not attached to the money. Before, I would have closed this position because I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to lose out on the profits for the week and just hit my profit for the week. Now I'm just looking at the charts, and the charts are making the money because the trades are simply making sense. So I'm just set and forgetting, following the set and forget strategy. And I don't know, I'm lost for words. I'm excited. It's about to be 1 a.m. and I'm just looking at the camera, talking to myself. And I don't know, I'm kind of using this moment to like think back a little bit on the last challenge and the person that I was then. And I definitely was not ready to turn $100 into $1 million. Even though, yes, I was a millionaire and, you know, I was very successful and I knew exactly what I was doing, I wasn't prepared for it. And I think that's why I blew the account. But now, come this time around, I can definitely see the kid that I was back then. And I believe that I am ready for it now. And I think my actions are showing for it. And it excites me because I'm seeing the growth. Not so much the money. I can make $1 million in a month. Not a big deal. But it's more of the person who I've become to normalize turning $100 into $1 million with the skill set that I've acquired and how hard I've worked for this skill set, and the fact that it's literally paying off so well. Like, I'm even getting goosebumps as I'm saying that, because there was a point where 5 years ago I had nothing. Like, none of this trading stuff did anything for me other than make me lose money. Fast forward now, it has built me a ginormous community. Like, you guys watching this right now has brought me a crazy lifestyle, gotten me a lot of freedom. And it's all because I never gave up. So I just want to let you guys know, if you're going through any rough moment or anything, you know, I've been through there, we've all been through there, and I can guarantee you that it'll definitely be worth it at the end. Like, I'm just sitting here in my office 1 a.m. by myself, and it's moments like these where I really kind of connect to the reality of the situation of where my life is right now. And it's all because I never gave up and because I believed in myself and I stuck to one thing. So stick to one thing, set and fucking forget. So for this week, out of the 4 pairs that we analyzed at the beginning of the week, one of them was a winner. The other one could have been a winner, but we didn't enter it, and then we avoided 2 other losses. All you need to do is literally be right half of the amount of time, and you're gonna make money at the end of the week, every single week, using the set and forget strategy. And I think at the beginning of the week, we also mentioned USD/JPY for price to come back into this level to then sell, but obviously that moved very, very fast, and we didn't end up catching this trade. Damn, that's fucking crazy, because this is actually the first trade that we took on the 100 to the mil account. If I would have held all the way down here, wow, I think I'd be at the million already. No, I'm kidding. So that's pretty much the recap of the markets that we analyzed at the beginning of the week. If you guys want to get these markets before they actually happen, and you guys want to trade alongside with me, you want to get these same exact markets that I am trading on this 100 to the mil account, click the link in the description below, because I use my set and forget strategy where I break down with my students every single Sunday the markets that I'm going to be trading for this challenge in the week ahead. So if you guys want to be part of the 100 to the mil challenge and trade the same markets with me live, make sure you guys click the link in the description below so you guys can join the set and forget community. You guys get on the cards with me every single Sunday, ask me whatever questions you want or any concerns you may have, and I'm going to be sharing with you these markets before they even happen, before anybody else sees them. So that's how I've been taking this $100 so far to $3,000. So the goal for next week is going to be to take $3,000 to $6,000. So let's see how next week goes. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button and tune in every single Sunday, because I'm only going to be uploading turning $100 into $1 million until I achieve the challenge of turning $100 into $1 million. So expect a video just like this one every single Sunday until we achieve it. Appreciate you guys watching this video all the way to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.